Can you give any more details on where the Secret Service found the cocaine in the West Wing and how it got there?
So, as you know, this is under the purview of the Secret Service. They are currently investigating what happened over the weekend, so I would have to refer you to the Secret Service on all of this. But one thing that I can share, that I'll share a little bit more information. As you know, the President and the First Lady and their family were not here this weekend, as you all reported on this, and as you also know that they left on Friday and returned just yesterday. Where this was discovered is a heavily traveled area where many White House, West Wing, I should be even more specific, West Wing visitors come through this particular area. I just don't have anything more to share. It is under investigation by the Secret Service. This is in their purview, and so we're going to allow certainly the investigation to continue, and we have confidence that the Secret Service will get to the bottom of this. Go ahead.
Has the President said, hey, let's get to the bottom of what happened here?
Well, I just said that we have confidence that the Secret Service is going to get to the bottom of this. As you all know, the President follows all the reporting here, and he certainly was briefed by his staff on everything that we know so far. But the Secret Service is investigating this, is investigating what happened over the weekend, and we have confidence that they will get to the bottom of this.
Just clarify for us where exactly inside the West Wing the substance was discovered.
I'm not going to get into specifics. All I can say is when people visit the West Wing, there is the area of the West Wing where it is highly traveled, and that is what happens. People come through this particular area. It's highly traveled. I'm just not going to get into specifics. I'm not going to get into, not going to get ahead of the Secret Service, and so I'll let them speak to that.
There are a couple of primary entrances into the West Wing. There's the one with which we're all familiar, right outside the driveway where the Marine stands when the President's in the West Wing, and there's another entrance off West Executive Avenue. Can you explain which entrance we're talking about?
I'm going to let the Secret Service speak to that.
Can you explain why you can't explain it? I mean, you described it as a heavily traveled area.
That's what I'm just saying what the Secret Service said. We got this from the Secret Service, so I'm sharing a little bit more with you from here. But again, it's under their purview. It's under investigation. They will have more specifics down the road. As they are looking into this, we are confident that they will get to the bottom of this, and so I'm just going to leave it to them.
The substance was discovered late on Sunday. What's the latest staff-led tours that happen in the West Wing on a Sunday?
You know, I don't have the specific on how late the staff-led tours go, but I can tell you that there was one on Friday, there was one on Saturday, there was one on Sunday. The times that there are not any West Wing tours is when there is a federal holiday, like yesterday, or a large White House event. Just don't have the specifics. Let's let the Secret Service get to the bottom of this. They'll have hopefully more information, and we have confidence that they will be able to figure this all out. So I'm going to give them the space to do that.
You said the President has been briefed on the cocaine that was found at the White House. Is the White House conducting its own internal investigation?
This is something that's under the purview of the Secret Service. They're the ones who handle this investigation, so it lives in their purview, in their world.
And then just a quick follow-up on this type of tour. Can you explain to the American people who would have access to the West Wing on this type of tour and what kind of protocols are in place?
So look, when it comes to security protocol, that's something that the Secret Service certainly is going to handle, and so that is a question for them. When it comes to visitors to the West Wing, they come for many reasons. Obviously, we do have West Wing tours that occur here on campus. They happen in this particular past couple of days. They happen on Friday, they happen on Saturday and Sunday. The times that they do not happen is when there's a federal holiday, like yesterday, there was not a West Wing tour, and also when there's a large White House event. So I don't have anything more to share on the particulars. Again, when it comes to security, when it comes to anything of those types of protocols, that is something that Secret Service handles.
I wonder if the cocaine episode has prompted the White House to ask the Secret Service to review its security protocol for visitors coming in.
So let them do their investigation. Again, this is under their purview. Let's see exactly what occurred and what happened. They're going to get to the bottom of this, they meaning the Secret Service, not going to get ahead of any changes in protocol or anything like that. Let's let the Secret Service do their job, which we believe, and have all the confidence that they will get to the bottom of this.
This episode kind of shines a light on the fact that you can bring in illegal substances into the White House. So what's preventing a visitor from bringing in anthrax or something that's not magnetic into the White House.
No, look, Weijia, I totally understand the question, but it is under investigation. We're going to get to the bottom to exactly what happened. The Secret Service will, not us. And so we're going to let the Secret Service do their job. I'm just not going to get ahead of if or whens or changes. We just have to let the Secret Service do their job, which they are.
If the Secret Service determines who brought the cocaine into the White House, does the White House support the prosecution of this individual?
I'm just not going to get into hypotheticals from here. Let the Secret Service do their job. It's under their purview. We are confident that they'll get to the bottom of it. I'm just not going to get ahead of this right this time. Okay.
So Secret Service officials are actually cautioning that they might not find the person involved because it is such a busy thoroughfare. So if they don't get to the bottom of it, as you're saying, would the president be satisfied with, sir, this is a busy room and we found some cocaine, we don't know who brought it?
So let's see what the Secret Service says, right? Again, this is under investigation. Don't want to get into hypotheticals while investigation is going on and is happening at this time. Just not going to get ahead of it. Let Secret Service do their job.
And if I work anywhere on the complex, what is the process like for me if I want to bring? Can you just lay out, to the extent that you can, the process for, if I want to bring in family or friends as somebody who works here? Do I go to somebody in the White House? Do I go immediately to the Secret Service and say, hey, I want to do this? Like, how does that work?
So there's a specific process. I'm happy to share that with you. I want to make sure I get it right, so not certainly going to lay that out right at this time. But there is a process, as one of your colleagues mentioned. Everybody does go through a process to come on campus. They do get vetted. They go through a security process. As it relates to the security piece of it, I would have to refer you to Secret Service. But certainly, someone from my team can certainly lay out. I think some of you may understand this process, as some of you may not have hard pass and you know how this all works, but I just want to make sure I get this right, so happy to share that with you after the briefing.
The cocaine that was found, following up on Tyler's question, one thing that you're not expressing is concern over the fact that this was found on the property, and I guess I'm wondering how expressing concern would somehow get ahead of a Secret Service investigation.
I think this is being investigated. It's under the purview of the Secret Service. We're going to let them get to the bottom of this and see what happened. I'm just not going to get ahead of it. Just not.
Yeah, do you have any new details on the investigation into the cocaine found at the White House? Can you confirm that it was a small baggie and that DNA testing is taking place?
I respect there's interest in this. To be transparent with you, I do not have additional information to provide beyond what Karine laid out in the briefing room yesterday, which is this is something we take seriously. The law enforcement professionals in the Secret Service are investigating after this substance was discovered in a highly traveled area. We're willing to assist in any way needed. Beyond that, I'm going to respect their process.
One more on the cocaine. I understand the Secret Service is conducting an investigation. If the Secret Service is able to determine the individual responsible, will the Secret Service and will the White House commit to transparency in this and making that information public?
I'm going to defer to the Secret Service professionals who are carrying this out. I'm just not going to engage on hypotheticals about it. I would suggest you contact them for anything more.
Former President Trump has made some pretty wild posts recently on social media. One of them was that the cocaine found in the White House had belonged to either the president or his son. Are you willing to say that that's not the case, that they don't belong to them?
I don't have a response to that because we have to be careful about the Hatch Act. What I will say is that I have noticed there does seem to be some increasing frustration coming from that corner in general. And I think it is probably rooted in the contrast between their substantive policy records.
Sorry to bring up cocaine again, but there was a question yesterday during the press gaggle with Andrew Bates that was, I guess, he said that he was avoiding it because of the Hatch Act. I'm just asking again, can we just say once and for all whether or not the cocaine belonged to the Biden family?
So, a couple of things there. He mentioned the Hatch Act because the question was posed to him using Donald Trump, and so he was trying to be very mindful. Okay, I hear you, but you're asking me a question, so I'm answering it for you. And so that's why he said the Hatch Act. So I would, have you read the transcript and read the transcript fully so you can see exactly what he was trying to say. So that's number one. So we're not avoiding the question. That is not true. We've answered this question, litigated this question for the last 2 days exhaustively. There has been some irresponsible reporting about the family. And so I got to call that out here. And I have been very clear. I was clear 2 days ago when talking about this over and over again as I was being asked a question. As you know, and media outlets reported this, the Biden family was not here. They were not here. They were at Camp David. They were not here Friday. They were not here Saturday. They were not here Sunday. They were not even here Monday. They came back on Tuesday. So to ask that question is actually incredibly irresponsible. And I'll just leave it there. Okay.
5 days after cocaine was found here in the White House, congressional Republicans seem like they're very close to launching some sort of formal investigation. I'm curious, from a national security perspective, Wade, what was your reaction when the drugs were found? And B, was there any risk to security, either to the president, to your staff, anybody that would work out of the sit room, for this stuff to be so close to where you were?
So first, I would refer to the Secret Service when it comes to questions of the security of the president. I won't speak to that. Second, I would make a point about the Situation Room, because I think there's been a lot of questionable reporting on this. The Situation Room is not in use and has not been in use for months because it is currently under construction. We are using an alternate Situation Room in the Eisenhower Executive Office building. So the only people coming in and going out of the sit room in this period have been workers who are getting it ready to go. By the way, it's on time and on schedule to be back on station here in the not too distant future. But no, there was no issue with the Situation Room relative to this. And then finally, look, we have rigorous drug testing policies at the White House. We have rigorous drug use policies here at the White House. We take those extremely seriously. So we'll let the investigation unfold. If it involves someone from the White House, the appropriate consequences will ensue. If it involves some visitor who came in and left it, then that's a different matter that raises a different set of questions that are less relevant to my line of work. So I will leave it at that. But I do not believe at present, as things stand here at the podium today, that we are facing some national security threat, ongoing national security threat.
Do you have any update on the investigation into the cocaine at the White House? The Secret Service indicated if they're closer to...
Yeah, I don't have any updates. As you know, as you just mentioned, Secret Service is under their purview. They're certainly investigating the situation. I just don't have anything updated. I would refer you to the Secret Service on that particular question.